player this season. He has 29 points, starting for Steph Curry as they work his way back. They're bringing him off the bench so he can play more extended minutes in the second half. Like, Klay Thompson hasn't even played well in this series, and they've destroyed the Nuggets in the first two games. It's because Draymond Green is getting under his skin. Draymond Green is getting physical with Jokic, and no one else is stepping up, man. The Denver Nuggets, this is the MVP case for Jokic, is he took this team to 48 wins. And then you see this team against a really good team, and everyone's saying, oh, this guy can't be an MVP. This is supposed to be a guy that's really good. Well, yeah, because he took them to this position, and now they just see he's got nothing. And this Warriors team, they back. And it should be Suns, Warriors, Western Conference Finals.
So, a few things there. Jokic had 26 points and 11 rebounds in 28 minutes last night. Before he got ejected with his second technical foul, arguing with the referee because he believed he got fouled, and he probably did. After that, he got no help. Will Barton, Monte Morris, and Bones Highland. Bones Highland had 12. That's it. That's what he had. By the way, a first-round pick out of VCU is Bones Highland. When you look at what was done on the other side, yeah, Steph had 34 in his 23 minutes, but Poole, to your point, had 29 points. Klay Thompson is back. He had 21. Wiggins had 13, and they balled. And so I don't know where it's supposed to come from for Denver. And is it going to be Bones Highland? Will Barton's going to have more games like his first game. It just can't be 12 points and minus 10 for him. And they're going to go home and try to figure it out. But to your point on Golden State, and this is kind of what I thought early in the year, if they can get everybody healthy about now, and it feels like now Steph is healthy, they can make a run.
Yeah, it is pretty wild because I think the MVP debate for the basketball talking heads, it's been heated for them because there's 3 and potentially 5 legit MVP candidates. Because you can throw Jokic versus Embiid. I think Giannis has, over the last 2 years, ascended to that level where you can give him the MVP anytime you want.
Yep.
Luka Doncic had an MVP-type season. People throwing out Devin Booker. And so it's phenomenal for the league.
Well, LeBron was in the conversation because of his individual numbers, even though his team didn't make the play-in tournament. Yeah.
And so it's gotten Jokic versus Embiid, and instead of kind of point counterpoint, it's been like tearing the other guy down. And this is worst case scenario for Jokic, even though it's regular season MVP. People watching him in these 2 games and going, "There's no way this dude can be the MVP if he can't even compete with the Warriors." And my contention is, are y'all forgetting who this team is? Like, Steph Curry is not on the end. Like, Steph Curry is still prime Steph Curry. Klay Thompson has played a good chunk of basketball, working his way back from not playing 2 years. Draymond Green is still one of the best defensive players in the game. Like, this
and now Poole has become what he's become, and Wiggins
the splash cousin.
Yeah,
and Wiggins is as like a number 4
right.
is perfect for him.
Good.
That is good.
And to me, this is more about how good the Warriors are as opposed to Jokic not being that dude.
Well, I think, first of all, Jokic has never been the popular opinion amongst the players in the league, okay, and amongst fans. First of all, I don't know how many Denver Nuggets games the average NBA fan sitting in Philly or New York or Chicago or Boston or pick your town east of the Mississippi. How many games does your average NFL fan watch of the Denver Nuggets when they play your team?
3 quarters.
Yeah, no, that's right. Secondly, and let's, I mean, if we're going to throw all the cards on the table, he didn't look like the other guys, right? His game doesn't look like the other guys. He doesn't look as athletic. He is the only white guy in that conversation, correct? And so he's not the popular pick. Luka. No, you're right. You're right. Luka's in the conversation. No, you're right. Luka is, but he's never been. So I can't tell you, JJ, and just because I can't recall it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. The last time a player on another team talked about how good Jokic is, right? You hear guys talk about Embiid. You hear guys talk about Steph and LeBron and Luka even. The guys on the other team praise him much?
Not to the same extent. I know Draymond, despite waving goodbye
Yeah.
to Jokic after he got ejected,
He respects him.
said he expected Jokic to
Yeah.
just absolutely go bonkers in game 2.
Yeah.
But they've done a really good job against him. But this is also the conversation when you get to this point, and as you bring up, a lot of people are looking at these dudes intently for the first time this season, and they hear so much. And I get it. If this is supposed to be a back-to-back MVP and his team can't even compete, like the Nuggets are not getting back in this series. There's nothing they can do with this Warriors team to get back in this series.
Can we agree on this? Everybody you said to me, right? So you said Embiid and Giannis, not LeBron, where I'm going to go with this. Luka, who am I missing? Booker. They all have not just better, way better teams around them.
They do, and this is what's kind of been interesting about the NBA MVP over the last few years is they've alternated. Jokic is kind of, it's going to come across as like the Westbrook MVP, like the dude that
Just empty.
just padded his stats, and then you're like, well, where is he in the postseason? So you've had like the Westbrook MVPs, and you've had like, oh, there's KD, oh, here's Giannis, and then there's Jokic. And this Nuggets team, as frustrating as it is, and Jamal Murray, hit the social media last night because he's taking a lot of heat from people like, where you at? Can you get back on the court? And he's like, y'all don't think I want to play? And he's like, all right, well, can you get back on the court
He
then?
missed the whole season.
He missed the whole season, and about the last month he was playing a couple games down in the G League trying to get
How much did he
back.
miss the whole season? About $40 million?
Yeah.
That's
And
good.
so if you're the Nuggets, you've essentially lost 2 chances because Murray got hurt in the playoff run,
When's
missed
Jokic
the entire
out?
season. I think Jokic just got re-upped.
He did.
So Jamal Murray
Yeah.
and Michael Porter Jr., who missed the entire season with back injury and
That's your team. I mean, that's
just got
that's how you assembled your team.
paid, which I think was the worst decision for Denver, the pressure is on these dudes next year because this year's done.
And so it can't be on Jokic. And so your point is those guys are there, but they didn't play. Those guys are who you built the franchise around. You built it around me and those two. And they played combined no games, right? Combined.
0.
And what would they make combined? About $80 million,
A ton of money.
right? How about that, man? How about your Nuggets ownership, Nuggets front office, and you got $80 million-ish into those two guys, and you got 0 games out of them. 0 games out of them. And yet here you are. I'll tell you what it is. Jamal Murray, I'm sorry, only $30 million, $29.5 million. Nikola Jokic makes $31 million, and I can't even find Michael Porter Jr. Here he is. He only made $5.2 million. That was this year they restructured. So your argument is the two guys he's supposed to run with didn't play, and he still got them to where they are. And his numbers are ridiculous. I'll tell you this: if he wins it this year and they go out in the first round, he'll never win again. No matter
Absolutely.
no matter what his numbers look
Absolutely.
like. No matter what his numbers look like.
It's going to have while Jokic is absolutely one of the best players in the NBA,
Yep.
because he didn't win a championship, because he didn't go on a run,
That's right.
it's when people look back and go, well, they gave Steve Nash back-to-back MVPs?
Right.
When Kobe was in the league, and when
no,
LeBron was
that's-
here, and then
Yeah.
that's what is next for Jokic.
Yeah. If you were going to start a franchise, how many players would you take over Jokic right now? I want one guy. I get first pick. I mean, there's a few, right?
Maybe like,
4 or 5.
I don't even know if I get to 4 or 5.
Who would you take?
First, I take Luka and Giannis.
Durant.
Durant. It's Curry, and then I think
Well,
it's
Curry.
the 4 or 5.
Curry's a tough one because what I mean, Jokic can do so much. No, he's got to
And I
be
think
top
he's
5.
like right there.
He's got to be top 5, right?
I do think it's a toss-up
Top
between
4?
him and Embiid.
Okay, fair. And
You're watching,
Embiid loves
like,
himself.
Embiid
Yeah.
be unguardable against the Raptors,
But Jokic has been much more reliable over his career.
and then Tyrese Maxey's that dude, man.
And he's been playing. He's just been balling. All right, we're going to get through the other stuff as well. How the Mavericks beat the Jazz last night with no Luka Doncic. 76ers are just beating the tar out of the Raptors. So we got playoffs to get through. Dodgers and Braves last night. Freddie Freeman against his old team. How'd that play out? Pretty well if you're a Dodger fan. NFL news, Browns are now being investigated. You got some receivers sitting out. We got a lot to do. The phone number to get in today is 505-246-0610. Not just today, A-Marie, but every day. Put it in your phone, plug it in. Say it's A-Marie's number. Just put it in and she'll talk to you. A-Marie's producing on the radio side. Good morning to you.
Good morning. They do like to chat.
Yes. No, people, I see you back there more
And I'm
than...
like, guys.
More than Hoser back in the day. They like to talk you up a little bit more. I don't understand it. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Great callers, though.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm like, leave it for the air.
Yeah, because they probably leave good
They
stuff.
go off, and I'm
leave
like,
good stuff.
Yeah. You know.
Adrian's producing on the ProView Network side. You can watch the show on Channel 26, Comcast across the state. Facebook, our Facebook page is The OD in the AM. And send us emails, Jeff or JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. The text line is the same as the phone line, 505-246-0610. Thank you for remembering that you listened to the opening drive this morning on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Hey there, how's it going? It's Tate.
All your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
Carcrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments.
To none after losing to the Warriors last night, 126-106. Meanwhile, the Mavericks made a series of it, beating the Jazz last night, 110-104, behind 41, JJ, from Jalen Brunson. So no Luka, no problem. That's the surprise of the evening for me. You?
Yes. Because the Utah Jazz haven't had the same feel since the bubble. They used to think of the Jazz as a really good defensive team, high ceiling, they're coming together, and they just haven't had that same feel. And you got to taste that in game one, where it was a tight game all the way through. And once Luka Doncic was rolled out, I think everyone just expected, all right, the Jazz are going to roll through this series.
As did I.
And you're watching game one, you're like, huh, there's a fight in this Dallas Mavericks team. And then you're watching yesterday going, man, if Luka was here, Dallas would win this series. There's a reason Dallas is playing the first two games at home over the Utah Jazz. And, Jalen Brunson has been phenomenal. And it was, mid-season change for the Mavericks. Like, Jason Kidd has been good. He's been a really good coach this year. I know there are a ton of question marks with Kidd this season if he's going to be that dude. But the decision to move on from Kristaps Porzingis, go small all the way around Luka, pretty much play a four-guard lineup, has worked out. This team has a ton of confidence in our boy Ryan. He sent me a tweet last night, Jeff.
Did he?
Yeah.
He was there last night.
Yeah, he's working overtime.
Yeah.
Not just in the mornings for us. But Bobby Marks, one of the ESPN front office guys, tweeted out that Jalen Brunson is on a $1.8 million contract this season, and just like looking at stats and his performance over the year, he has outplayed his contract by $30 million.
You think that much, huh?
That's what just the metrics say of the type of performance they have got out of Jalen Brunson this season.
All right, and you know how you watch playoffs, and again, I'm not going to tell you, I sit around and watch a lot of Mavericks games. I discovered Maxi Kleber. I mean,
the Keebler elf?
Who's Maxi Kleber? And I'm like, 6'10", third year out of Germany. Maxi Kleber.
And you know what it is?
What?
It's going to blow your mind?
Tell me.
Kleba.
All right, I'll go with Kleba.
What's the R doing there, bro?
K-L-E-B-E-R. Kleba. 25 points off the bench last night in 32 minutes. That's what teams do in the playoffs, man. And that's, again, I'll go back to the Nuggets. That's why the Nuggets are getting run out of their series, because their Maxi Klebas are not scoring 25 because they're Jalen. No, right? Yeah. But their Jalen Brunsons aren't scoring 41. You got 66 out of Brunson and Kleba. 66 out of those two. No Luka. That's why you won. Dinwiddie gave you 17. And then on the other side, what you get? You got your two guys going at it, Bogdanovich and Mitchell, period. Thanks. That's not fair. Clarkson gave you 21.
Yeah, the Jazz window's slamming shut.
Quickly,
this was
right?
going to be a team that stays in the mix. It was 2 years ago, right? Like, the Jazz. This is the underrated team. This is a team that's no one's talking about. Their window's gone. Like, there's a weird chemistry ever since the shutdown and the bubble between Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert.
Yep.
They are not this dominant defensive presence that you just expect them to be. That's kind of been their MO over the last few years. And Rudy Gobert is not the defensive player of the year. And here we are in a 1-1 series against the Luka Doncic-less Dallas Mavericks.
Kind of crazy. All right, the other one, Philadelphia, 112, Toronto, 97. Not even that close. Like this one, it's a hard watch right now. And I'm not sure, I'm watching Fred VanVleet and Pascal Siakam still play. And I'm watching the team in Philadelphia who, if they get rolling downhill, JJ, I think they could be really good. They're built for this, right? The way Maxi's playing is terrific. Joel Embiid at 31 and 11 last night. Let me then mention James Harden's on that team, and he was the fourth leading scorer last night, after Harris, Embiid, and Maxey.
How about the evolution of James Harden? To just I'm just going to be a distributor.
Do you think that's where we are with him, or that's where we are in this series right now?
I think it's where we are with him.
Okay, I'm not certain I'm there yet. Okay.
And I actually think this works well for Harden.
I think it would.
So where he'll have a couple games where you'll see James Harden take over, but he doesn't have the same consistency.
Yeah. I'm not sure he's willing to be there yet, but we'll see. I think it's more important that he has to win. It is such an important series for him. I don't know if it's more important for probably Chris Paul more, because he's just going to run out of time, right, to win a ring. Paul or James Harden, maybe Chris Paul, and they're the 1 seed, right, as opposed to the Sixers who are not. But when people tell me about the East and who's there and who's going to come out, and there's the 1 seed in Miami, and then there's the defending champion in the Bucks, and then there's that super team that was put together in Brooklyn. And here's this Philly team who the process is now, right? I mean, it's coming to fruition now. And I'm watching Joel Embiid be healthy and dominate. I mean, he's just been dominating. What Tobias Harris is, what Maxey is becoming, right? I mean, Tyrese Maxey is just, if you have not watched some Tyrese Maxey, do yourself a favor and find their next game and get a look at what Tyrese Maxey is, because he's just been terrific for them. A young man out of Kentucky who was a late first round pick that they found. I think 21st is where they found him. And James Harden's on that team.
Yeah, it's keeping Maxey in the Harden deal was now the best move of it all.
No doubt.
I thought, losing Seth Curry, that's going to hurt. But watching the evolution of Tyrese Maxey this season is, it's a reminder of you can make those picks matter outside the lottery. A good basketball team, you can still find Jordan Poole, Tyrese Maxey. You can make them work. You don't want to get caught up on them if a really good player is available, but good things can still happen.
Look, Tobias Harris was 19th overall pick. They don't all have to be in the first 10, first 6. There's guys, ask Draymond. Second round. Nikola Jokic, second round. There's guys, and I get it. The majority of the studs were first 8 to 10. They were. But there's guys in this league who make a difference and make it happen that were picked later.
And speaking of the pressure in the Eastern Conference too, what do you think when you look at it overall? Because I look at, there's 5 teams.
Yeah.
That I think are championship caliber teams.
That's right.
In the East, just 2 in the West right now.
So you just think it's Phoenix?
I think it's Phoenix, Golden State. Just that I'm all in on. But then you see Miami, Philadelphia, Milwaukee, Boston, Brooklyn.
So Memphis loses the 1 game and you're done on them, or what?
I just think there's still a gap between Memphis and Golden State and Phoenix.
All right. Forever, it's all about the West. You got to get through the West. Now LeBron goes to the West. The West is all right. Wait, he couldn't get through. He couldn't make the playoffs. Yeah, I think you might be right. Luka's going to come back, right? He's going to come back. You're going to get Dallas and Phoenix in the next round. That's a great series, right?
You hope he comes back. Dallas can get one more game, extend the series, and I believe we'll see him.
Yeah. You're on the phone. I'll tell you this later. I got something for you. Tell us, hit me with the bar shutting down. Marie was worried about remember yesterday her deal with the bar?
Yeah.
All right, I'll get her later because it's not this. Tellus says, years ago I was in San Diego and their airport cut off the chow line at 7 o'clock on a Thursday night, so it's not just about the labor shortage. Remember you were
yeah. What? I'm sorry. What was it for?
He said years ago he was in San Diego at the airport and they cut off the chow line. I guess he couldn't eat at 7 o'clock on a Thursday night.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's not. It wasn't just you. They weren't just pissing you off. Just so you know.
Oh, no. I asked the staff why.
What'd they say? They said it was.
There's understaffed, yeah.
Okay. All right.
That sucks.
Yeah, it does. All right, come on in. You're ringing the phones at 505-246-0610,
Chatty this morning.
888-922-0610. Hey, spring into summer with a new space, an updated kitchen, a new patio, pool, a whole new look. Kirtland Federal Credit Union has the tools to get it done. Give them a call, go in and stop by, or look online at kirtlandfcu.org. So what is your goal? Kirtland Federal Credit Union's products and personal service can get you there. If you're looking to improve that home, turn the value of your home into cash. You can use it for home improvements, upgrades, and more. If you're looking for a new home, choose from a wide variety of mortgage programs and partner with a team of friendly and knowledgeable mortgage experts. Looking to buy a new car? Competitive rates, unbeatable service. Kirtland Federal Credit Union will help you drive away in the vehicle you want with payments you can live with. And if you're planning for retirement, investing for retirement starts with Kirtland Financial Services. So talk to an advisor today and start walking the path to a confident future. Stop by any of their branches or visit them online at kirtlandfcu.org and get started today. That's kirtlandfcu.org. Membership eligibility required. See a membership representative for complete details. We're all
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
M610, the sports animal.
By the way, the coffee this morning, 2 empty pots sitting on the
Oh,
counters.
stop it.
But
I hear we're getting a treat later.
yeah, I heard that too. Sitting over on the counter was the
Stop.
little thing. The filter was already put in, and coffee was put into the filter. It was just sitting there on the counter.
I got the Keurig on. Do you want me to run you a cup?
Maybe this was a dumb move on my part. I took the what's the little piece that you slide in there with you put the filter in? What would you call that piece? The piece?
Yeah, sure.
And I just put it in to make coffee. But so somebody put the filter in, put the coffee in the filter, and then didn't put it in the machine to make the coffee. They get distracted? I don't understand.
This is a mystery in the morning. I don't know. There's only a few suspects in this room this early, so
There's a limited amount of people. That's the truth.
so
Goodness gracious.
we need to get to the bottom of this.
I know. What do you got?
I'm just looking at college football
Oh.
transfer portal within the Mountain West.
Oh.
And I was like, dang, a ton of Wolfpack players transferred to Colorado State. Oh, yeah, their head coach went to Colorado
really?
State. But the in-conference transfers, that's a huge deal.
Never happened because you used to have to release a guy to go transfer, and you would say, okay, I'll let you go somewhere, but not in conference. Now you can't do that anymore. Now it's like it's open. You can go wherever you want.
It's super interesting, though.
Yeah.
The amount of players that have kind of transferred within the Mountain West.
What happened? So Dan held through the break again. I go to take his call and he's gone. Well, that's like a trend.
And
lately.
then, I'm gonna tell them right when they pick up the phone. They start chatting their takeaway or telling me, giving me.
They want to hear your take.
Also, everyone wants. Well, listen to the radio, or everyone wants to give me marriage advice.
Are they married people?
I'm like, we're talking NBA playoffs. I have no idea
Hey,
what
so
a caller.
you want some marriage advice from me? I wasn't very good at it.
They get all the grain of salt.
I failed, but I'll tell you, what I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
Go ahead. No, not now. Not on the air. Kyle's not listening right now.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. All right, so you told me Hawaii had dudes go like 5 Pac-12 guys. Is that what you told me? Where are you looking? College football transfer portal.
I'm on the Mountain West wire.
Yeah.
Right now. But Hawaii had dude transfer to Arizona
So
State.
who went? Who transferred?
They had two, like a DB go to Arizona
Which
State, linebacker Corey Bethley.
Okay.
Corey Bethley.
All these guys that were champions in the New Mexico Bowl.
Zach Bowers goes to Arizona State. Donovan Dalton went to
he played
Oregon.
Yeah.
Along with another one of his teammates, and then you have Jonah Laulu went to Oklahoma.
Dang, dude.
Nick Mardner, who's a good wide receiver. He went to Cincinnati.
Yep.
Darius Masau, linebacker, UCLA.
Masau was the defensive MVP of the New Mexico Frisco Bowl in Frisco Kirky. Darius Masau, he's a Hawaii guy. He was the
They
defensive
could
player
have
of the
kept
game.
that together. That would have been a pretty darn good team next year.
Yeah. See, all those guys they win a bowl championship, and now they want a taste and they want more. Maybe we'll bring them all back. I don't know. Hello, Dan. How are you, sir?
Good morning, guys. How's everybody?
Life's grooving. What's happening?
Hey, all I said is Love is blind and marriage is the eye opener. That's all I said.
Ooh.
Okay.
Wait, so that wasn't
So-
advice. That was more like a marriage fortune cookie.
Okay, I'm just saying in general, people.
Yeah. No, I know she wasn't speaking to me.
No, not Lord, no.
Just to me.
Yeah.
Just to me. But no, I'm like you, Jeff. I'm not the guy to ask about
Yeah,
marriage.
yeah, I got my blind
Marriage
spots,
is
and I know them.
blind.
Yeah, I know what I'm not good at. That was more like a fortune
Right.
cookie than advice, I would say. Yeah.
Okay, let's call it that. Hey,
Yeah.
so, Coach Steve Kerr, man, see the look on his face last night. Is that a happy guy or what?
Yeah, he's kind of
Jordan
back in
Poole.
his zone.
Jordan Poole. He is the phenom of the tournament, man. That what are they calling him? A death squad or the death lineup? I mean, those cats looked amazing last night. I just don't see how anybody can stop them now.
Well,
They're so deep, man. He goes deep into that bench.
yeah. If you put them against Phoenix right now, who would you like?
Oh, Warriors, man. They're just I don't trust Chris Paul.
Fair enough.
That's
fair.
What I saw last night, the way he was rolling them in and out, and they were effective. Every time he would put someone in, they would affect the game, and then he'd pull them out, put another guy. I mean, it was a thing of beauty, man. From a coaching standpoint, he looked very satisfied and very comfortable.
Jordan Poole, another guy late in the first round, by the way, 28th overall pick for the Warriors.
I can't even believe that, dude. That kid, that young man is just phenomenal. Just the way he moves, the way he looks, his apparent attitude. He really sparks them up. I really enjoyed that game last night. So I'm going to say, go Warriors.
Right on, Daniel. Thank you.
Okay.
Warriors are fun to watch, right? They're kind of back to being fun to watch, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
We talked about last week, though, before the playoffs, Draymond, Thompson, and Curry only played 11 minutes together total.
All year?
All year.
Is that right?
Yep.
And now,
So imagine that.
They seem to look okay right now, don't they?
Oh, they look okay.
I mean, I'm just saying they look all right now. I looked through how many like top 10 picks do you think are on that team? Top 10 overall picks
On the Warriors?
on the Warriors, and they
there's top 10 picks.
because as you watch
There's
them,
4, but like only 2.
are there 4?
Well, there's Wiseman. But he's not playing.
But Wiseman's not playing. Yeah, all right.
Steph Curry.
I didn't count Wiseman. Curry was 7th overall. Wiggins was 1.
Wiggins.
Yeah.
And then, is it Kuminga
Was he a top?
or Moody?
Kuminga. Well, you're right. I didn't. All right. I wasn't even going there. Kuminga was 7. Wow. Okay. No, I wouldn't have got that. I would never have gone that. Kuminga being 7. Looney was 30th overall, so final pick in the first round. Clay was 11th overall coming out of Washington State. Poole was 28th. Draymond was 2nd round. Clay was 11th. Wiggins was number 1. Steph was the 7th pick. I think Steph was kind of a novelty. I remember when Steph got picked out of Davidson, and there were a lot of people who just thought, wow, they're just throwing that away. Another idiotic pick for that team out there. And the Warriors were kind of Sacramento, to be honest with you. For a long time, the Warriors were they couldn't get it right. And it took a couple of years and a coaching change to turn that thing around. I always wonder what Mark Jackson thinks. You know? If he'd have got another year, would he be Steve Kerr? If he'd have gotten one more year, would he be Steve Kerr?
He would be.
Or would he be? I mean, do you give Steve Kerr any credit for this?
You do.
It's-
You do. Because it's also about the way he's managed this team
I think
through
that's right.
the injuries. He's kept the focus. Because those are 3 dudes that all have big egos. That's Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Steph Curry.
Mhm.
Yeah, Steph Curry, you're the best player out of the bunch. But that goes to all right, there's the X's and O's, and then there's the all right, I'm just here to make sure we don't lose our heads.
There's a psychologist part of the whole thing. You know, I think back, Mark Jackson, for those of you who don't remember, was the coach of the Warriors. And he got fired after, and it was a surprise. What did they fire him for? And they brought Steve Kerr out of the broadcast booth.
Because they won the NBA Finals in Steve Kerr's first season.
Yeah, after he came out of the broadcast booth. It reminds me of Doug Collins coaching the Bulls, and they bring in Phil Jackson, and they get Scottie Pippen, and look what happened. 505-246-0610. Just your thoughts. Are you back on the Warriors now? Are the Warriors the team to beat as you watch them? Who's watching your home? Who's watching your home? Hopefully it's the good guys, not the bad guys. Good guys are watching my home. Aaron Jones and International Protective Service have been doing this for a long time, and I appreciate what they do for me. They have been great watching my home for years, and it's affordable security. I know sometimes you think that private security might sound like it's a whole lot of money. It costs, but what's protecting your home worth? Aaron runs IPS, and for about $5 a day, a highly trained, armed IPS officer will patrol your home. Come by twice a day. They watch for any suspicious activity, even pick up the mail, move your trash cans from the curb back while you're gone. Happened for me last week. You got a package dropped off, Amazon's dropping something off, grandma sent something for a birthday. It's not going to sit on the curb, not going to sit on your patio until someone takes it. They will pick it up for you. It's affordable private security. I'm glad I do it, and I think you'll be glad when you make the call. The number is 505-897-2420, 505-897-2420, or go to ipsglobal.com. IPS, making Albuquerque a safer place to live.
Give yourself a new morning routine.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Sports.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
That's a yes.
This is 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Kind of hard to say the best thing you saw last night wasn't Freddie Freeman hitting a home run against the Braves, though. I mean, with all the the stuff that went on, Freddie taking the second pitch against his old team and putting it in the seats was pretty nice. It's up to you, Mary. What day is today? Tuesday? It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, A-Marie, and Adrian. 505-246-0610 is the number you're ringing to get on the radio, and we're going to, well, since you're calling, we're going to let you on. Hello, Tony.
Well, good morning, gentlemen. How are you all doing today?
What's happening? You good?
You know, sir, you are a smart man, okay? I've said it many times, and I'm going to say it again. You are a smart man. I've thought that same thing about Mark Jackson for the longest time.
What would have happened if he stuck around?
What would have happened?
Yeah.
Could he be a little like jealous because is he sitting there thinking that could have been me, and that very well could have been. Now, coaches get a lot of blame, a lot of credit, and when things go bad, when things go good. Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr's a good coach, but I mean, could Mark Jackson have done the same thing?
Well, I don't know.
Now,
So I always ask this. I think this, Tony, when I think it, why then has he not gotten another job?
Yeah, and that's a great question. Why hasn't he gotten another opportunity? You got guys like Doc Rivers that has had a couple of other opportunities after the Celtics. You got Jason Kidd, Steve Nash still coaching, and I don't think they're very good coaches. That's just me, But you take a guy like Phil Jackson, okay? Phil Jackson, what he did with the Bulls. And I know there's a lot of people out there, well, he had Michael Jordan and anybody could coach that.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, okay, maybe some of that is true, but
Doug Collins did.
The Lakers, when did Phil Jackson come in to coach the Lakers, and how long had Kobe and Shaq been together?
They've been together a while. I'll find the numbers for you. I got. Let me give you Mark Jackson real quick. 3 years with the Warriors, and they were horrible when he got there. They were 22-43. They missed the playoffs. His second year, they went 47-35, finished second in the division, lost in the conference semifinals, and then the next year they were 51-31. Right, so it's 20 games better than 500. Second, but then they lose in the first round of the playoffs, and he gets tubed.
Did he draft Curry?
He was there when they drafted Curry, right, JJ?
Who?
Mark Jackson.
He wasn't there when they drafted.
He was not.
No.
So the first 3 years.
Oh.
So the first 3 years of Curry. That's interesting. Okay.
That is something I did not know. But I got to feel a little bad for Mark Jackson because he's got to be sitting there thinking, "Dang, that could have been me."
All right,
that could have been me. That could have been me, Coach of the Year.
100%. 100%. So Phil went to L.A. 99-2000, and they won the first year there. They were 67-15, and they won. Hell, they won their first 3 years.
Okay, but how long had Kobe been there before Phil?
So Kobe, that was in what I tell you, 99.
97. When did Kobe get drafted? 97.
I'm gonna find that. I'm so bad with years. I'm just really, 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 really bad with years. Kobe's first year in the league was 96, 97. So he'd been there for 4 years. 96, 97, 98.
So,
that was his fourth year.
Well,
that was his fourth year. That was Kobe's fourth year.
See, that's another one, you know, and people think, oh, come on, anybody could have coached Shaq and Kobe. Well, you know, somebody was coaching Shaq and Kobe, and they didn't win. They didn't win squat.
That's the same thing with Michael, right? I mean, Doug Collins didn't win with Michael.
Yeah, true. So it's hard, you know. But I feel bad for Mark Jackson. I really do, because he's got to be sitting there thinking, "Dang, that could have been me, man."
Yeah,
it
I
could
think he
have been.
does.
So,
I think he does. Yep.
That's a great, and I've thought that for the longest time. And when you said that, I couldn't dial my phone fast enough, man. You guys have a good day, okay?
See you, man. The only thing on that, and whenever I think that is, and I've thought this a lot, and his name is Mark Jackson's name has been up for a lot of jobs. And there were a number of jobs, like when the Knicks were open, right? He played for the Knicks. He's a New York guy. The Knicks job felt so perfect for him. He's got a nice career. Mark Jackson's done a great job on the number one team for ABC and ESPN, and I think he's been really good. But why hasn't he gotten another job?
Yeah, because if Mark Jackson, it was 23-43 his first season, and then Golden State wins 47-51 games.
Yeah.
It was in the conference semifinals. They lose in the first round.
And that's what got him when they lost the first round the third year.
And then Steve Kerr comes in. They win 67 games in NBA championship.
And
so there's absolutely a what if when it comes to Mark Jackson sitting there going, I step away and this team wins. Could I have been able to do that? But the overall Steph Curry story with the Warriors is crazy. He was drafted back in 09-10. That was the last year Donnie Nelson coaching the Warriors, and they had 3 straight losing seasons. Like, they were not a good team, and early on,
they're a bad franchise.
Steph Curry had ankle trouble. Remember the ankle surgery?
So you said this to me in the break, and I want you to say this because it blows your mind when you look back on it, all these years later, what 10, 12 years later.
Yeah. So there was a moment there, a couple years in to Steph Curry's career, where Golden State had a decision. Were they going to pay Steph Curry and roll with him, or continue with Monta Ellis?
Say that again. Monta Ellis. That was a real conversation, Amory. Should we keep Steph Curry or Monta Ellis? That was a real conversation. Sometimes you look back at these things. Like, do you know it was a really, really hard debate? Should we?
And then 2012, 2013, he clicked.
Boy, did he click. When did Klay Thompson get there?
So Draymond was a rookie in 12-13.
Was it the same year Klay got there? 11th overall pick and a second round pick, and Steph all of a sudden is healthy. His ankles aren't blowing out every time he crosses the street, and it turned into that dynasty. Oh, and Steve Kerr showed up. Steve Kerr had the magic elixir for his ankles. That's crazy, isn't it? Just taking a look. 505-246-0610. Keep them coming. Emails this morning. I got to get to some of those. Jeff or JJ.
I hope they're not are they griping this morning?
Man, it's all right if they're for it. It's the opening drive. Thank you for remembering you're listening.
For great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Dynasties is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
The year, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Bond.
All right, Warriors are up 2-0 on the Nuggets with a 126-106 win. They look really, really nice. Mavericks even their series with the Jazz in the West, 110-104. And the 76ers seem to be rolling through Toronto, 112-97. They're up 2-0. Marcus Smart, Celtics Defensive Player of the Year. I have a conversation about the Warriors a little bit, and I asked, what does Mark Jackson think? He was the coach. The Warriors before Steve Kerr actually had the second. They were 20 games over 500, 51-31, and lost the first round and got fired. And Steve Kerr came in, and he's been there ever since. And I'll give you some opinion on why Mark Jackson hasn't been hired, and kind of equated a bit to Phil Jackson. Jeff said Phil Jackson came in and implemented the triangle, the offseason between Kobe and Shaq, which no one could stop. And then he strategized to sit Shaq 3 minutes extra a half per game to save his body for the playoffs. No other coach had done that. If they would have kept Shaq at least 3 more championships. So remember, after the Lakers traded Shaq, Phil got frustrated with Kobe's selfishness. It was one of the biggest reasons Phil retired from coaching. You have to have great players, but you got to have a coach the guys want to play for. All that's right. If in retrospect, I don't know what you think of this. The Celtics legacy, the dynasties, they win 11 out of 12. Is going to be really tough to match. But if Kobe and Shaq would have been able to figure out their personal differences, and again, 2 young, brash, cocky superstars at the height of their game, in a bit of a me generation, and it was amazing to watch the 2 mature as they got older. But 2 young guys that couldn't get along. That could have been maybe the best dynasty. I mean, we talk about the Patriots dynasty. That could have been the best dynasty we've seen in our time, if Kobe and Shaq stayed together. Do you guys disagree with that?
I think they could have matched Jordan's titles, but I don't think they would have surpassed 6.
You don't think that it got past 6? They got 3?
Same.
I'll tell you what. I think they could have gotten to the 6, and who knows. And instead, we got Kobe. Tell me how my ass tastes. Last night, Kobe couldn't win without me. Kobe, tell me how my ass tastes. Which was funny.
It was because it's really.
Should I find that? Make that a hotkey.
Shaq's he had that title with Miami, and his numbers were pretty good, but he went downhill pretty quick
after he left. So how many years did he have left? Is what you're saying?
It's like you could look at the numbers and like, oh, Shaq is still scoring 17 points per game, but he went like.
So you think Kobe was better off with Powell to win the 3 more? Or the 2 more?
What year did he leave? So it was.
Because it's interesting.
03-04 was Shaq's last year
with the Lakers
in LA, and those 2 seasons they lost in the conference semis and lost in the NBA finals. His last 2 years.
San Antonio and
I lost to the Pistons.
I thought it was Detroit. Yeah, I thought it was.
So I don't think they would have surpassed Chicago.
All right. 505-246-0610. Speech, what's good?
Hey, how you doing?
Excellent.
Your conversation, I just want to tell you, I mean, it just shows how important team basketball is. Like the 2004 Pistons with Chauncey Billups. I mean, they didn't have any real superstars on that team. I mean,
that's truth.
Larry Brown was just a great coach.
Yep. That was who. I mean, that team was.
Richard Wallace, Terrion Prince.
Yeah, Mr. Big Shot though.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
that might have been Larry Brown of all of his stops, and I think there were 312 of them. That might have been his best job. The
Right.
job he did with that Pistons team to get them back to the top. Yeah, I think that's fair speech. I think that's actually really good. Thanks, man.
Sure.
See you.
No problem.
By the way, Speech is becoming one of my favorite callers. Can I tell you
Good
that?
friend of mine from a long time
Is
ago. Yeah, from New York City. I worked with the Howard Stern
he?
show briefly, and
Yeah.
he was always touring with them.
Yeah.
And he's
So
a
where's
big,
he living?
He's a big Vikings fan. I think he's in Nashville.
So he's on the app?
Yeah.
Do you know what? We have an app? Who knew?
It's free. Yeah, and he listens to it every day.
Dude,
we have a lot of listeners in New York too, by the way.
We got people in New York, Nashville,
Mhm.
Texas, Lower California.
I didn't even realize a lot of my friends in New York were listening, but they do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you to Marie's friends in New York City.
I mean, not that it matters,
No,
but I think
actually,
it's cool.
It kind of does matter. and
I think it's
appreciate
pretty
that.
cool.
No, it's actually
They
really
got shows in New York.
Who knew? Who knew we had an app? The other thing I hear all the time is well, yeah, I mean, Steve Kerr's got great players, and he went. Show me a coach who didn't win. I mean, that do you have that Pistons team pulled up by any chance? I didn't know if you went there. I don't know if they had great players and they won one, but give me a coach who won with bad players. I ask you this all the time, and you can't. You just can't. And good coaches have like did Steve Kerr forget how to coach the last 2 years?
No, there's a psychology side to it.
Yeah.
There's a coaching side to it. I think when you look at the best coaches, like when you look at the history of best coaches, it is directly tied to having the best player.
In no matter what sport.
It is.
Yep.
But there's got to be an element of, all right, how did this person work with said player?
Look, not everybody can do it. It's you got to be able to click. Not everybody would have been able to coach Brady like Belichick did. We consider Vince Lombardi a great coach. We had Bart Starr and he had all those guys. We consider Bill Walsh a great coach. He was. He had Joe Montana and Jerry Rice.
Hubert
right?
Davis was on that team.
On which team? That Pistons team?
Pistons team.
What was that roster? What was that starting five?
Oh, jeez. It was Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, Tayshaun Prince. Excuse me. Terrion Prince is playing for the
different dude.
Tayshaun Prince, Chauncey Billups, and Rip Hamilton.
Wow. Okay, so all good players.
And I want to talk about what ifs.
Yeah.
That was the year that they drafted Darko Milicic, and they didn't add, say, Dwayne Wade or Carmelo Anthony to that team.
Wow. Yeah, all good players, but none of them you would say are great, would you? Who's the best player there? Chauncey?
That was like the last few years where you could actually play basketball like that, with a Ben Wallace on the floor.
Being physical.
Not being an offensive player.
Yeah, playing old school basketball. And Larry Brown was a magician, and he'd come in and fix you and be out in a couple of years.
Corliss Williamson.
Scoreless Corliss. Yeah, from Oklahoma. Or from Arkansas. Good teams. Good players, not great. But pick your sport. Who are your best coaches? John Wooden was great. He had great players. Chuck Noll was great. Yeah, he had Bradshaw and Swan, and he had the steel curtain.
Was it just Kobe Bryant? That was definitely a big addition as he got older, because he still was a kid out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you look at those first couple of seasons, he was coming off the bench.
Kobe was
for a little while.
He was like 17, 18 years old when he got into the
And then so when you're looking at, the Lakers, that run up until Phil Jackson got there, because Phil Jackson won an NBA Finals in his
Who
first
was the
season.
coach before Phil?
It was Del Harris.
It was Del Harris.
So Del Harris, you're looking at his run-up. Lost conference semifinals, first round, conference semis, conference finals, conference semis. Phil Jackson comes in.
He gets tubed, and Jackson wins 3 in a
straight
row. Yeah.
NBA finals.
Crazy.
So there is something to, yes, there's player development and timing, but that coach.
Hey, Marie, what team drafted Kobe Bryant?
Wasn't the Lakers, was it?
It was not. He never played for another team beside the Lakers. But what team drafted Kobe Bryant?
Was it New Jersey?
It was the Charlotte Hornets.
What?
Like number 12 or something like that. And then there was a trade. It was Eddie Jones and Vlade Divac and somebody else.
Oh my gosh, what year was that? 97, you said?
Whatever year it was. Yeah, 97. I want to say it was the 12th overall pick. Charlotte drafted him. And the Lakers traded Vlade Divac, Eddie Jones, and somebody for the rights to a 17-year-old kid at the time named Kobe Bryant. How do you think Charlotte fan feels about that? Well, you got Vlade Divac for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant said, they
13.
told me right after they drafted
13?
me, they had no use for me and were going to trade me.
They had no use for me. Yeah, why would the Charlotte
Kobe quoted.
Why would the Charlotte Hornets ever need Kobe Bryant? We have no use for you. That would make us relevant and good. We don't want to be that.
There's a tweet.
Oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I
From
forgot about that.
the late Kobe Bryant that he posted on July 1st, 2014.
Okay.
Kobe Bryant's Twitter. It says, on this day 18 years ago, the Hornets told me right after they drafted me that they had no use for me and were going to trade me. Hashtag thank you.
Is that I mean, you go back at moments that changed history in sports, right? I mean, just moments that changed history. To your point, Steph Curry or Monte Ellis. Like what if they'd have gone the other way? What if the Indianapolis Colts would have drafted Ryan Leaf, which was a real conversation, instead of Peyton Manning, right? I mean, you just go back to things in
Drew Brees. He
was
was going to the Dolphins.
He was going to go to Miami, and he couldn't pass the physical because he was coming off of that shoulder injury, and that would have. And Nick Saban was the head coach of the Dolphins, and so what if Nick Saban, as coach of the Dolphins, would have got Drew Brees instead of whatever?
I mean, that would have been a good AFC matchup. Brady and Brees.
But just think, would Saban have ever gone back to Alabama?
Ooh.
Would Saban have stayed in the NFL for a while? What would that change history? 100%. You go back and look at these things that seem like no-brainers, and we really had serious conversation, and the screaming heads were going into microphones. These were real conversations, and you look back on them a decade, 2 decades later, and you're like, why was that even an issue? Like really, that was a thing? Wait, the Charlotte Hornets had no use for Kobe Bryant? Why? Because they wanted to be relevant?
Look at that. So the trade went through.
Who was the third player in that trade?
I got to look up the trade, but there was so much drama surrounding that. So Vlade and the Lakers kind of had a contract impasse because Vlade didn't want to leave.
Vlade was kind of their dude right then.
Kobe and his representatives were floating rumors out there that if he didn't land with the team that he wanted to be drafted by, he was going to go play in Italy. So that's kind of why he slid down.
Okay.
And he wanted to play for the Lakers when it was all said and done. But they make that move, and then 7 days later, they sign Shaq.
Do they sign? And I don't know that Shaq. Do you
Anthony
think
Mason?
that had anything to do with it? Was that the third player? No.
No, Vlade.
Vlade Divac.
And acquired Anthony Mason from the New York Knicks.
Oh, so it was a 3-team deal.
Yeah.
I think Shaq would have signed with the Lakers anyway. I don't think he signed because some 17-year-old kid.
No,
signed.
that wasn't the signing, but to move off of Vlade, solid.
Yeah, all right.
Center.
We just got Shaquille O'Neal.
And then you just Shaq.
So good.
That was
coming off a championship run. They went to the finals in Orlando.
The Lakers franchise.
And remember when Shaq split with Penny in Orlando? That was a big thing. Shaq and Penny in Orlando. That was the only time Orlando's ever been relevant, ever.
Oh, breaking backboards.
Yeah.
Shaq.
They went to the finals.
And then they traded
that was awesome.
Cedric Ceballos that season.
Club said.
For Robert Horry. So that span of 11 days.
Was that to the Rockets?
And then that year, reignited Lakers franchise.
So they got Club said 11 days later
Yeah, Shaq.
Wow. They traded club said they got Horry. Or you know how many rings Robert Horry has? Hey, Marie. Robert Horry.
No.
More than Michael Jordan. He has 7 rings.
Oh my God.
Everywhere he went, they're winning. And he was a piece of it. Now, you never sit there and tell me that Robert Horry is the best player in the history of the NBA, but he's got 7 rings.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, 94, 95, 2000,
I ain't
2001,
lying.
2002, 2005, 2007.
Does that count up to 7?
Big
Yep.
shot, Bob.
Yep. I ain't lying.
Dang.
There was a guy back in the day named Billy Paltz, the Whopper. And every team he went to ended up in the playoffs back before everybody made the playoffs. Yeah, there was just dudes that just do that. All right, 505-246-0610, 8889. As you're watching Winning Time, the making of the Lakers,
Oh, so good.
kind of this is the second incarnation of
The
those
what
Lakers.
ifs.
Yeah. But the what ifs, the changing moments in history, things that flat out change the course. You can change the way you feel. Call NewMail. Father Time and Mother Nature are going to get you at some point. They're undefeated. They're the only ones who are undefeated. But NewMail can help you fight. That's right, guys. They're natural things that you might experience as you get older. Things like being tired too often, hair loss, weight gain, depression, even erectile dysfunction. But now there's a way to fight back. NewMail's been helping men take care of these things for years with industry-leading testosterone replacement. Men feel better. They perform better. Essentially, you can battle these things that Mother Nature and Father Time throw at you by calling NewMail at 505-652-1688, 505-652-1688, or visit NewMail, NUMALE.com. NewMail's local. They're here in Albuquerque. They're convenient. They're comfortable. But most importantly, it's results. Guys, men all over the country are benefiting from NewMail's treatments. You don't have to succumb to these natural inconveniences if you call NewMail and take care of it. It can happen. Feel like you again. Do this for you guys. Make the call to NewMail at 505-652-1688, 505-652-1688, or visit newmail.com and feel better.
You've
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
It's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts.
Kind of dig these what-if conversations, you know? In the look-backs in history and what if it would have happened and how did it happen and can you believe? What about like the GMs? Somewhere there's a GM. Well, let me rephrase that. Somewhere there's a former GM, right? Who made the move and said, "We have no use for you, Kobe Bryant." So somewhere somebody said that. Like that's your legacy, right?
Yes.
Somebody somewhere, and maybe that was just a deal. And I'm gonna. I think I went into this one time, and I kind of read this somewhere. And it was a deal. Hey, you guys draft Kobe Bryant here at 12. The trade was predetermined. We're going to send you Divac and Eddie Jones.
Yeah, once he slid down because the Lakers.
Yeah, Lakers.
Lottery pick.
Lakers were not a lottery pick, and so that was set up. But somewhere, somebody said, yeah, all those people passed. Did you ever look at the draft? Who was drafted before Kobe Bryant?
Yes. Who
was drafted before Kobe Bryant? And we'll get to that. And let me get Jess on. And you know, it's Robert. Yeah, let me get Robert on. Because somewhere all these people, somebody made a decision, man. Somebody made that decision. What's up, Robert? How you living?
Hey, good. I just heard something you were talking about the trade with Vlade for Kobe.
Yeah.
And I think it was Vlade and a guy named Eldon Campbell that was
I
traded
think that's
for
right,
Kobe.
from Clemson.
Eldon Campbell was on that Pistons team in 2004, actually. He was on the bench.
Yeah, that's right. Eddie Jones went in that too?
I'm not mistaken. Eddie Jones was part. I think he was the year afterwards. He was part of the Glenn Rice trade that brought Glenn Rice over, and that's when Eddie Jones left. I'm pretty sure about that.
All right, that makes sense. I think that's right. So it was just the two of them. There wasn't a third player in there. It was Eldon Campbell and Vlade.
I think I'm not exactly, but it might have been Nick Van Exel too. But I'm not sure on that one, dude.
Brick. All right, that's good.
All right, I just wanted to say that, and don't forget Eldon Campbell on the Pistons teams too. He was kind of already towards the end of his career, but he ended up winning a championship after he got traded to the Lakers. So that was kind of like a payback thing. So.
All right, no, that's good. Thanks, man.
All right, I just want to say you guys have a good day, man.
Thank you. That's really good. All right, 13th overall pick. Immediately sent him for Vlade Divac.
Because Eddie Jones stayed.
Yeah. All right, fair enough.
At least for a little.
I was wrong. I was flat out wrong.
Vlade was the key, and it still took him like 11 days because Vlade was threatening to retire. He didn't want to be traded, and that draft, you look at the top of it, it's not one like, oh, how could you miss on a kid at a high school? It was Allen Iverson, Marcus Camby. Okay, like I'm okay with taking Allen Iverson number 1.
No, that's fair. So wait, tell me who was at the top of that draft? Kobe went.
Allen Iverson, Marcus Camby were the first two.
Out of UMass.
Then you had Sharif Abdur-Rahim.
All right. He had a career. It was Chris Jackson. Yep.
Stephon Marbury.
He had a career.
Ray Allen.
All right. He's decent.
Antoine Walker.
All right. It's a good draft.
Lorenzen Wright.
Okay.
So 8 was, and this is the interesting story. So it was John Calipari, the New Jersey Nets.
Yeah.
They were the team that was closest to taking Kobe Bryant.
Okay.
But it was the battle. It was the rumors that Kobe's going to sit out, is going to play overseas in Italy. So they took Kerry Kittles.
Yeah, I remember that.
At 8.
Yeah.
And then so it was like Samaki Walker, Eric Dampier, Todd Fuller, Valtteri Potapenko, and then Kobe Bryant.
Wow.
Hey, Peja Stojakovic went after him. And then you know who's drafted 15th overall, Jeff?
I don't.
Steve Nash.
Oh.
MVP.
That's a pretty good run right there, 13,
That's
14.
a heck of a draft, actually.
Dang.
What's up, Jess?
Jeffrey,
Jesserson.
you know, you need to have LeVar Ball be the guy for Newmel.
Ooh.
Undefeated.
Never lost.
Never lost.
Never lost.
I miss him. I'll be honest with you. I kind of miss that guy.
I really don't.
Wish
His kids can
you
ball.
know,
No.
I mean, we only get like 30 seconds of him. That's all we need.
His
I mean,
kids can
it's not
ball,
a big deal. But that was a couple of my favorite players ever involved in that draft. Peja Stojakovic, Vlade Divac. Those years of the Kings versus the Lakers, and then the Portland years with Scottie Pippen, where I was middle school, high school. Those are my favorite NBA years. All those battles, just great NBA. The flopping, the fighting. I remember Doug Christie punching Rick Fox in the face.
Yes.
It was one of my favorite things ever. So you can't do that nowadays. I mean, that
Damn
don't
it.
exist.
Game sucks.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I mean, that's why people still love hockey. If you think about it, it's the only professional sport where fighting's pretty much allowed.
It's encouraged.
It's like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Every other sport you get suspended.
No, you get 5 for fighting.
2 minutes.
Yeah, you get 5 for
Oh,
fighting.
5?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Kicking
yeah, that
game
makes sense.
misconduct.
But the what ifs. When LeBron James was coming out, right? He's coming out from college. Cleveland has the first pick. Like, the chances of that, what would happen with LeBron James right now if Cleveland never got that pick?
Yeah.
I don't know if they would have been able to put together a package to draft him, and I don't know who was next in line in that lottery. But, I mean, the chances of that happening for the Akron kid to go to his hometown because they got the lottery pick, to me, it's crazy.
No, that's good. You're right. You're right. All these what
That was
ifs.
a good one.
Yeah.
Jess, I think what we got to do, bro, is we need to get some throwback early 2000s jerseys.
Oh, totally.
And then have some pickup basketball games.
Yes.
Oh.
And then nachos.
Yeah.
Then blow out ankles
Chris
and knees.
Webber, we got white chocolate out there.
Got some
Oh,
Jason
That guy was
Williams.
that. He's a baller, man. Baller.
Let's go.
Those are the days. JJ knows. I mean, I just spent hours watching that NBA. It was never boring to
NBA
me.
was good.
And
The deadlift
good
shrimp
stuff.
fall into that category? Can we get some deadlift shrimp?
Well, that's Gary Payton, Detlef Schrempf, Sean Kemp, right?
That's a little older, right? That's 90.
Oh, look
Mid-90s.
the Sonic season. What a heartbreak that is. And we need to start that
They're
petition up. Let's get come on,
boys.
the Sonics.
Yeah.
Oh, great to my heart, gentlemen. It's a great morning. Have a good one.
See ya.
Ooh, look at those. Antonio McDice.
Oh, look at you guys go.
Go.
And then go get some nachos.
Yes.
Or some Blake's breakfast burritos.
Oh, yes.
Have you got into that yet?
Yeah, yeah. I was so pumped for it.
Thank you to our good friends at Blake's Lotta Burger. Caramel, what is it? Caramel coffee? What is it?
Caramel iced coffee.
Yeah. And
Say
some breakfast
caramel or
burritos.
caramel? That's a big always discussion.
I'm a caramel. I like to
I
mispronounce
say
a lot
caramel
of things.
too.
All right. Whatever it is. Yeah, I think you know.
It's my Burkania accent.
Burkania?
That's what people tell me.
Burkenia?
Burkania?
Wouldn't that be Burkenia?
Yeah, I got to roll my R's better.
Burkenia?
Burkania?
That's that whole thing.
Burkenia.
What's your name? You're not in Borellis. You're in Barellas.
Yes.
Your name's not Martinez. It's Martinez. 505-246-0610. Thank you for being with us this morning on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
New Balance Albuquerque. Shoes that fit better and perform better.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Dream Style Stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated, with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream Style Stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own.
thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are
Animal.
So, back in the day, what year was this again? 96? We've been talking a lot about how Kobe ended up. I don't know, how did we get on Kobe and how we ended up with the Lakers? How do we even get here?
I think because Steph Curry.
The what ifs?
The what ifs
Okay.
with like if Steph Curry would have been.
Right, because it's not on my run sheet today. On topic.
That was not on the Google Doc.
That was not on the Google Doc.
It's not.
But it's a good. But it's a great topic.
Excuse me.
20th over selection. Shout out to Zadrunas Zagauskas.
So I ran across this this story that Mitch Kupchak, who back in 2020 was the Charlotte Hornets general manager, but he was the assistant GM of the Lakers back in 1996 when this went down. And he said, much to what you were talking about, it almost didn't happen. So Jerry West was the Lakers GM at the time, worked out Kobe, loved him. He said, we got to have this guy. We got to figure it out. Arm Tellem was the agent, JJ, that you were talking about, the representation for Kobe. And so they said, all right, we got to figure out. Kobe wanted to be in L.A. They wanted him in L.A. So Jerry West did what he could to limit Kobe Bryant's individual workouts with other teams, right? How much can you see of a guy coming out of high school? He was at Lower Merion High School. You can watch all the video you want, but how do you get a perspective of, I mean, sure, he's dominating high school kids. Okay, that's great. He's a special talent. But how good is he? And so Arm Tellem, the agent for Kobe Bryant at the time, told the Charlotte Observer that he went to John Calipari at the Nets and tried to convince the Nets to not take Kobe. Quote, it was a calculated gamble. I remember meeting with John Calipari and John Nash, the GM, pressing them not to take him if he fell. I left not knowing if they would pass. I thought they would pass, but didn't know. Coach Cal was the one who felt it wasn't worth the gamble based on what I had communicated, and maybe he was a little uncertain about building around a high school player, end quote. So basically, he said, look, he's not going to play for you. He's going to go play in Italy, all those things that you said. And then they had the trade worked out with Charlotte if he fell. And like you said, they took Kerry Kittles and Kobe fell. But it was all calculated. It almost didn't happen, and the Nets could have screwed that whole thing up. What would Kobe have been? What would the trajectory of those two franchises been?
Kobe would not have been Kobe Bryant.
See, I struggle with
Kobe would have been a really good player,
Yeah.
but I do not ever see the Hornets win an NBA championship.
What if he went to the Nets, though? What if Cal would have taken him? Right? Would Cal still be in the NBA? Would the Nets have been...
No.
No?
I think Kobe becomes one of those good players, but I don't think he becomes iconic.
Really?
Because it's just the timing of it. You
Interesting.
go to the Lakers. The Lakers.
Yeah, I get it.
You're teaming up with Shaq.
And that was a big
Grow
piece
into
of it,
that
right?
Stardom. I think Kobe Bryant becomes an excellent basketball player. He still has that drive.
I wonder what the Nets would have become. But yeah.
Iconic? I don't think so.
Man, I mean, it's a generational talent, right?
Does he find his way to a championship? Probably.
Maybe one. It's really interesting.
But I think it could even be like, the player of that caliber, because we believe Kobe Bryant's one of the best to ever play the game.
That's right.
So would it be
Edward doesn't, but most of us.
Oh my gosh! really?
What?
He doesn't think Kobe's one of the best.
He's no LeBron. I mean.
Oh my
wonder.
gosh!
I'm trying to think of like in the last 20 years a parallel. Because, like, if KD didn't go to
the Warriors
and win a championship, but he's just kind of like the dude that's close, but yet so far. But you're like, oh,
They
man,
were
this is one of
so
the best
close
players.
with the Thunder, though. So close.
Something along those lines with, like, Kobe and Charlotte or New Jersey.
So it's funny because where you land so dictates. You know, that goes down to this. What if
totally.
Derek Jeter was a Red?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, he was almost drafted by the
Yep.
Reds.
Yep.
How would that career have been? What if Tom Brady was selected 200th by whoever had the next pick, by the Philadelphia Eagles or
Whoever it was.
or the
It was the 6th round.
or the Minnesota Vikings or whatever, right? But he ended up in that spot, and then Drew got hurt, and then no situation. What if Patrick Ewing would have ended up a Laker instead of a Knick? Would we be thinking Patrick Ewing's one of the best centers ever? We never talk about Patrick Ewing as one of the best centers ever. Do you know how good Patrick Ewing was?
Very good.
Do you remember him at all?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, he was unbelievable, but he never won a championship. And so we don't talk about him.
What if MJ never came back?
What if I'm right?
What if you continued to play baseball?
Would he have been any good? Ever? Would he have made the big leagues? No, like the what ifs. Like I think of what if Karl Malone played for a franchise other than that team who's never won anything in Utah? What if he'd played for the Bulls? He tried to play for the Lakers. I mean, Gary Payton one year. Right? No, that's fascinating to me. You don't think he would have been iconic, huh? You don't think that talent would have risen? That talent would have become revolutionary? That guy would have become... And a free agency would have worked his way to L.A.?
Like at the end, Kobe Bryant would not have spent his entire career in
New Jersey. Yeah.
He wouldn't have.
Oh.
But here's a better one.
All right, I like
same draft.
Yeah.
Allen Iverson.
Okay.
Oh, my. So Steve Nash, Iverson, and Kobe all in the same draft?
So put Iverson
Jeez
somewhere.
I think Kobe, had he not been to the Lakers, would have been like Steve Nash and Allen Iverson. Guys were like, oh, these are really good, but he would not be iconic. It's just...
So he'd have been those guys.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah. And he might have won one, might not have won one. Might have got no championship series, might not have. I think he would have worked his way. I see my gut, he was different than those guys. Physical talent. In New Jersey, he'd have been, oh my gosh, look at him, look at him, look at him. Free agent would have hit his first free agency or second free agency, and he'd have worked his way to L.A. Now, would he have teamed with Shaq? I don't know. Would it have been different? Absolutely. But I think he would have risen to a level above them. Because of who he was. I mean, his game was different than Steve Nash's and Allen Iverson. He was different. He wasn't different just because he was a Laker. He was different. That's fair. That's a really good conversation. What would these guys be just in different situations? Oh.
Because think if Allen Iverson was a dude that found himself to the Lakers.
What if Allen Iverson found himself the Lakers or the Celtics? Yeah. Yeah, he took one team, happened to be the Nets, right? to a championship.
The Sixers.
It was the Sixers. Who am I thinking?
They lost to the Lakers.
Yeah. In four. It was the Sixers in 4. Yeah, I don't know why I thought he was with the Nets for a minute. Give me a player. What if Dominique Wilkins would have played for a winning team? I think to me it's Ewing. Ewing was so good. But you'll never put him in the conversation with Shaq, Kareem, Wilt, Russell, Akeem, because he never won. But he was so good. Dominique Wilkins was spectacular. Julius Erving was the first of this ilk. Dr. J was something people had never, ever, 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 ever seen before. Michael Jordan was the next carnation of him. Then came Kobe, then came LeBron. That's awesome. All right, 505-246-0610. Give me your what-ifs. What are your biggest what-ifs? We'll get into the NBA as well. The match is happening, by the way. You see golf is back?
did see that. I'm pretty excited
Kind of
about it.
curious what you think about that.
Yeah.
Look up there. It's the
Oh,
opening drive on 95.
You know a team I'm not going for.
I do. I think I kind of do. On 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
If your company needs to spring in.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're #1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
You have none. What's your personnel look like?
95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Ray sent me a pretty good what if. What if he played for a different team? Pistol Pete Maravich. What if he played for the Celtics? I mean, look, by every account, he was as good as there's ever been, certainly as a shooter, but doing this behind the back dribble stuff before these guys were doing it, but he played in absolute obscurity. Yeah, that's a good one. It's a good one. Robert said, what Kobe story were you just reading? I only caught the second half. Is it available online? It is. It was a CBS Sports story out of 2020, right around Kobe's death, where it says Hornets general manager. This is trade that sent NBA legend the Lakers in '96. Draft almost never happened. Yeah, just Google Kobe Bryant draft Charlotte, and it'll pop up. But that's where that was, man. He just caught the back end of it.
So we got of course, the classic what ifs.
Yeah.
Not necessarily player being somewhere, but what if David Gibson makes a runner against Louisville?
Oh, yeah, that's good.
What if Laurent Rivard doesn't it? Laurent Rivard
stays in France.
What if he never played basketball?
What if he wasn't smart enough to get into Harvard?
I know.
he could only get into Hartford, not Harvard.
What if he actually got a D1 scholarship?
Yeah, what if he wasn't good enough? That's actually really good. That was really good. Jay, good morning to you. What's up, Jay?
What's up, fellas? How are you this morning?
Good. How you doing?
Not bad. So here's a what if. What if Larry Bird decides to play for Bob Knight and not drop out of school? And then that whole story has a whole bunch of what ifs.
Right.
What if Bird, who, when he drops out of school, decides he wants to just work? What if he just stays working? We never hear of Larry Bird. And there was a little-known clause. I remember this. Well, I don't remember this. I remember hearing about this in 1978, 77, 78, back in the day where teams could actually protect the rights of players.
Yep.
So they could draft a player when he was a junior in college, and then when he graduated, they could keep that player. So the Celtics drafted Larry Bird when he was a junior at Indiana State. And Bird went back to college, of course, and the rest is history, where they have the largest audience for an NCAA tournament game for him and Magic Johnson. So there are a whole bunch of what-ifs there. I mean, the popularity of the NBA, if you don't have that, and college basketball for that matter, if you don't have that matchup, I wonder how popular, or does that kickstart the popularity of basketball?
That's really good. Yeah, Jay, I don't think people remember. And if you're watching Winning Time, and Amory, I know you're watching it, and it's probably unfathomable to think, what do you mean the Lakers were losing money? Like, a big part of that is Jerry Buss's character. Sally Field plays his mom, and they're losing money. And Jay, I got to let you go because we're at the top of the hour, but thanks for the call. That it's a money pit. What are you doing? And it's impossible to fathom that where the NBA is now. What do you mean an NBA team was losing money? But Magic and Larry came along. I don't think y'all realize they saved the NBA. When you hear people tell you, "Oh, the games were on rack when I was a kid," they were on after local news, the playoffs. That league was dying. What if? Continue your what ifs. You're ringing the phones at 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sound of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS Network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The K240BL Albuquerque is 95.9 FM, 610 KNML Albuquerque, the sports animal. Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with three-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, and JJ Buck.
You know, a large part about what I love about doing this every day is I don't know where it's going, and a little behind the curtain stuff. And Amory knows this. JJ certainly knows this. JJ, you and I have done radio in a very unconventional way for as long as you and I have been doing it, and I've been doing it as long as I've been doing it. And we've had program directors come in and say, okay, where's your run sheet? You know, and kind of behind the curtain, you know, I think a lot of shows are run where here's the topics, and we're going to do this in this segment and this and this, and I've never done that. Right? Never. And I've been doing this for a couple of days, and they still let me do it. I put topics down, like there's topics we want to hit, but the beauty is I never know where it's going to go, because I love the conversation, the spin-off conversation. It's like the Jeffersons from All in the Family, right? I mean, you know, conversation spins off, and we started talking about the playoffs and Steph Curry coming back, and the decision that they had to make between Steph Curry and Monte Ellis, and then it turned into this way, and the conversation's terrific today, and because you all are contributed so much.
Not if you're this one texter.
Oh boy, here we go.
You guys must be really bored.
Really?
When you're doing what ifs all morning.
You know what?
All morning might be
Steph
your 15
Curry.
minutes in the car, brah.
It all stemmed
Man,
from Steph Curry,
sir,
bro.
woman,
By the way, it's the same dude who said what if he did a what if.
Right?
He said us a what if.
I'm like, what's the point then?
Yeah.
You just said us this funny what if.
Yeah.
And then, by the way, you must be really bored.
Yeah, not really, actually, and people seem to dig it, and I'm getting messages from
Called a spin-off.
everywhere, and I got only one line open.
Started with our playoff takes.
Yeah, so let's go. You want to go?
Let's get it.
Adolf, what's good? How are you?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. You know, I like talking about these what ifs because the what if that I think about is when the Bulls drafted Michael Jordan in the 1984 draft.
Yeah.
And the Bulls were not intending on drafting Michael Jordan. They were actually looking for a big man.
Sam Bowie.
And the teams that were ahead of them were, of course, the Houston Rockets
and the Blazers.
and the Blazers. And so, of course, the Rockets took Hakeem Olajuwon with the first pick, and the Blazers, who already had Clyde Drexler and John Paxson, they decided that they needed a big man, so they drafted Sam Bowie. And the question on Sam Bowie was, could his leg, which had been broken while he was at Kentucky, could it hold up under the pressure of the NBA season? And subsequently, Sam Bowie never told the Blazers that his leg was still bothering him. And so the Bulls, by default, choose the guard out of North Carolina. And the second what if is that Michael Jordan was being coached by Doug Collins.
That's right.
And the Chicago Bulls had made a run on the Detroit Pistons, and they had lost. And it was Jerry Reinsdorf, the owner, who decided that he was going to fire Doug Collins based upon the lack of chemistry and on the team and the way that Collins was using up Michael Jordan. And the assistant coach on that team was Phil Jackson, and the other assistant was a guy named Tex Winter.
Yes, it was.
And Winter was absolutely appalled at the fact that Collins had no standard game plan. And so Reinsdorf, he fires Doug Collins after a very, very good season and stays with Phil Jackson and Tex Winter. And it was Phil Jackson who sat down with Michael Jordan and said, I don't expect you to do everything. We have what we call the triple post offense, which is what we now know
Triangle.
as the Tex Winter
Triangle.
What do you call it?
The triangle.
Triangle offense.
Yep.
And the rest is history. Once they got Scottie Pippen because of Jerry Krause,
Yep.
they had the nucleus of that Bulls dynasty.
Adolf,
But
you know where
it
this
was
conversation
by
started?
accident.
Yeah, you know and this conversation started where I said it was talking about Mark Jackson. I wonder how he feels, right? When he it's somewhat the Steve Kerr, Mark Jackson is very similar to Phil Jackson and Doug Collins. Very, very similar. So
It is, except Doug Collins was burning the candle at both ends. This is what is not generally known amongst basketball fans. He was essentially destroying that team, and Reinsdorf spotted it. Every time Reinsdorf would have a conversation with Doug Collins, he would take notes. Reinsdorf is a lawyer by trade. And so when he looked at his notes, he noted in the margin of one of those notes, the guy is trying to be a Mike Ditka. Anyway,
so
I'm out.
good. That's so good. Thanks. It's a great one because look, that Keem went number one. That was a no brainer out of Houston to the Rockets. Hometown guy, well, home college guy, and then literally it was the Blazers took Sam Bowie, and the Blazers have a history of guys with big guys who are injured and don't pan out, and it really started. Well, it continued there. John, good morning to you. What's happening?
Good morning, guys. I hope you all had a good Easter weekend.
You as well.
And lady, excuse me. What a great topic. I love what you said out the spin-offs. You don't know where it's going to go, and then we get something really good like this. I got a couple of good what-ifs. It's with my favorite football team, the Dallas Cowboys. They're my team.
Yeah.
In 1979, Joe Montana had a magical year. They defeated Houston in the Cotton Bowl in a comeback thriller, and the entire front office of the Cowboys were employing Tom Landry to draft Joe Montana. And they had him on the board, and then when it came down to it, they said, no, we got Danny White right behind Staubach, and we got Glenn Carano from UNLV, he's big, strong arm kid.
Oh, he's gone.
And he was on the board. They could have drafted him. So, and then, of course, we know what happened there.
Yeah.
And then in the 80s, I believe it was 84, 85 draft, the Cowboys, I think, were at number 17, and they're getting ready to draft Jerry Rice out of Mississippi Valley State. Well, the 49ers, Bill Walsh, who hated the Cowboys, pulled in, and he traded up and got 16 right in front of Dallas and took Jerry Rice. So the what-if here is, Montana and Rice could have been in Dallas. And then the other
That's
one with the
insane.
Cowboys is, what if they would have drafted, what's his name? His name escapes me. The white Moss.
Randy Moss.
Yeah. He was sitting
Randy
right
Moss
there,
in
too.
1998, I believe, instead of the
That's a good one, too.
the defense Greg Ellis. He could have extended Troy Aikman's career because, Dallas had lost Michael Irvin to that neck injury.
No doubt.
And Randy Moss always wanted to be a Dallas Cowboy.
Yeah, he did. No, those are good. Those are
So
good.
those are the two ones that stick in my crop, but, that's the way it goes. That's why it's a what-if, no?
It's that would have changed history. Thanks, John. Those are good, man. Don't be a stranger. Those everybody's got them right. You always you don't think of those as being big ones, but they are. But certainly franchise changers. Aaron, good morning.
Hey, I got two of them for you real quick. You guys mentioned Pete Maravich, but what if Pete Maravich would have just played during the three-point era?
Yeah.
He was a 66% three-point shooter, averaged 44 points a game in college. He has a three-pointer. He's going for 50 in college and probably 35 a game in the NBA. He's a totally different player with the three-point line, and that totally changes the team.
Good one. Yeah.
Second, what if, has to do with New Mexico, what if in 1979 Microsoft decides to stay in Albuquerque instead of move to Seattle? I'm out.
Good. Great. It's my favorite ones yet. What if those guys put Microsoft here? What would the city be? No, honestly,
flying cars outside our window.
what would this city be if those guys did move? And from what I understood, it was something about tax breaks and all kinds of stuff. And basically, they were here. Microsoft was
like
starting
the
here.
bank.
Yeah,
Like a bank was like, I don't know if we're gonna do this.
yeah. I don't know if
Do
it's a
this
good
one.
investment. I don't know. You crazy kids with your.
We might
computers.
have the El Pinto Palace. That could be a thing.
You crazy kids with your damn computers.
Computers? Nah, that's just a fad.
What the hell are you doing?
It'll pass.
Damn
So,
interwebs. We're
I
gonna be
never
able
knew that, by the way.
You didn't know
the
what?
Microsoft thing.
Oh yeah. How about that? That's like what if? Like what would this town be then? That's really really good. All right, I'll get some emails to you. 505-246-0610. Garcia's in on tape delay. Jeff, there's more to that story. CBS primetime schedule was so strong in those days, with series that are now all considered classics: Archie Bunker, MASH, Jefferson's Dallas, and the ratings were so high they didn't want to preempt low-rated NBA finals during sweeps month, so they moved it to late night to be the sacrificial lamb against Johnny Carson. A lot of those shows regularly drew ratings of 25 plus. Think about that. Now Sunday Night Football gets a 10 and blows away everything else on TV. It's from Garcia. It's actually, he's right on. Ratings for some of those shows, they just weren't going to preempt MASH, All in the Family, The Jeffersons, Dallas, with some what is this NBA crap? What am I doing? The Lakers and Celtics? Why would I do that? And so that was reality. You guys, no idea. To think about where it is now, that league was on the verge of kind of going poof. It's insanity where it is now. All right. You want to take the call or you want me to go to break? All right. John, good morning to you. Hello, John.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good. How you living?
Pretty good. I don't know what if. Back in, I'm a Packers fan, so back in the early 90s, we could have drafted Barry Sanders, but instead we took Tony Mandridge instead, and it was a big deal. So what would have been different if that would have happened? So
that instead of Tony Mandridge, yes, it would have been very different. That's a good one. Thanks, man. You look back at these drafts, right? I mean, every team's got it. What if we passed on that?
What if we didn't take Herschel Walker, the Minnesota Vikings?
And give up like 11 picks and players for it?
And then they got a Super Bowl. The Cowboys.
Well, you had Herschel Walker.
We got Herschel Walker, and nothing happened.
What was it, 11?
It was something crazy like that.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was nuts. All right, 505-246-0610. Keep them coming if you want. I'll read some of your correspondence when we get back. Since you've been sending them, I owe that to you. I want to get into the match a little bit.
So excited.
Are you?
Of course I'm excited.
Because I kind of am too, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch. Like, it could be some bad golf now. And it's going to make you feel
I like
better.
all four of them.
I know, no.
And you know I'm Team Allen and Mahomes.
100% I know where you are. But I want to get into that and the thought behind that matchup. It's the opening drive. Thank you for listening to 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Telling it like it is.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever
Sports
been.
Animal. Your what ifs are so good. So entertaining to me. Ryan, he says, the only what if any of us need to know, what if Cooper Manning, widely considered the best of the Manning brothers, hadn't gotten hurt in high school? He said, this is completely a joke.
Everyone calm down.
What if Cooper?
Hey, but what if?
I'm all about it. Board Stiff says, or Gene says, biggest what if in Lobo history. What if, in 1974, some guy named Moses Malone comes to play for Norm instead of going to the NBA? They're going to the ABA. Going to the ABA. What if they beat Cal State Fullerton? Just asking. What if Laurent Rivard didn't have the grades to get into Harvard and he went to Hartford instead, and Lobos beat Harvard that day? This is a 3 seed. I mean, what if?
What could have been?
Yeah, what could have been? All right, pretty good stuff today on the what ifs, and you're welcome to bring them back. Let me get you some of your correspondence, and then we'll get into the. You know what? Let's do this first. I'd rather do this. Let's go into the match. So, yesterday, it came out that quarterbacks are going to do this. So, the match, the Capital One match, which has always been Tiger and somebody versus, well, it was Tiger versus Phil, then it was like, what was it, Tiger and Brady versus Phil and Rogers, and then it was DeChambeau thrown in there or something. Whatever. So it's going to be Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady versus Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes.
Woot woot.
And so I'm in, right? I there's no professional golfer, which is okay, because I think what this does, all of us play golf. Not all of us, but so many of us play golf. I've been listening to, wow, why don't they do? Stop it. This is really good. I wonder though, how much am I going to watch 18 holes of these guys drive it into the shrubs and hit them out and like
It can't be just 18 holes of straight golf.
You don't think it can be?
It can't.
So is there
like
what's the format then? That's not
there has to be some fun holes put in
Okay.
there.
Well, there's always side competitions in there, right?
It cannot be 18 holes of straight golf between these dudes.
Is it
Like
a scramble?
That's where I think probably scramble format. Maybe
Probably a
switch it up
scramble
on-
format.
on some holes. But even like they should probably do throwing competition on a hole. Like instead of
Like who could throw it the furthest
or
or the most
instead
accurate?
of like a tee, like here's targets, and
Yeah.
you hit the target. You guys get to hit your first shot from here, while they have to hit from the
Okay.
tee box. All right, little things like that to switch it up. Maybe put some fun into it, but it cannot be 18 holes of straight golf.
Because and I think it should be a
I
scramble.
ain't watching the 18
Yeah,
holes.
I think it should be a scramble. I think watching all these.
Ooh, scramble's good.
No, I think it should be. I don't know if it will be. They both hit a tee shot and they play a two-person scramble in.
There's a little
Let's
different
go, Bills.
athleticism sprinkled in there.
Yeah, look, these guys are all good golfers. Were they all like 6, 7, 8, 9 handicaps? I mean,
Oh my
they're
gosh.
decent golfers, but they're not horribly unlike us. And
You mean you?
okay, but I spray a lot into the shrubs. It's like I'm interested. Like I'm in.
It might bring in a new market too, which is really cool.
Well,
Like, think about it. Like NFL is king, and then you bring in all these people who
It's
are
12 holes,
who
Ryan
are
just said.
obsessed with these players.
That's good.
Is 12 holes enough? Okay.
Different generations.
Because we've seen even with the golfers, these things go way.
Well, they go 6 hours. They go into the dark, and then
Well, it's on the TV, so too.
right
Commercial breaks.
No, there's a zillion commercial breaks. They're playing at the Wynn in Vegas, which is, I mean, beautiful. I'm in. Like I'm in, and hopefully there's some junk talked, and Brady's pretty good at it, and hopefully Mahomes and Josh will fire back at these guys. Like I'm in. I'm watching. I'm totally sold. And I think we all
like Tom Brady's shirtless photo.
Didn't see that.
Oh.
Should I?
He's at. Wait, are you talking about like now or back in the day?
No, like right now.
Like
really?
right now? Right now?
He posted. He's already just talking some smack on Twitter.
What do you say?
Oh.
He has this shot of him and his kid swinging on a golf club.
Yeah.
But someone photoshopped Josh Allen's head onto the kid, and he said, "An artist's rendering of me watching Josh Allen's approach after laying up on a par 4."
See, that's good.
Oh my gosh! I'm looking at it right now.
No, it's really good. All right, so I'm glad they're going to get it. I'll watch. I firmly believe that we like watch. All right, so other people's pain is funny, right? I'm getting somewhere with this. Work with me. You see another guy get laid out on a football field. Oh, you saw a dog, and you're high fiving your boys, right? Another guy gets kicked in the junk, and you laugh. Oh, dang! Other people's pain is funny. So I equate that on the golf course. Other people screwing up on the golf course makes you feel better because it's human. When we watch the U.S. Open, and I tell you this every year, when they set up the Open to conditions that are just so hard, and you see guys flub shots, approaches, chips, whatever, and you're like, I do that. That's what I do at my club on Sunday. Or I did that out at the Muni on Tuesday afternoon. And so I think there's a piece of that in this that's going to draw us in, right? Here's these world-class athletes, 4 of the best quarterbacks in the league, and well, they're just like you and me on the golf course. So I think there's a piece of that that's going to draw us all in. But how is that going to keep you for it? Now, Ryan tells me 12 holes, maybe for 12 holes.
Yeah, 12 holes. Sprinkle in some stuff. I think you could have some fun with it. Maybe some throwing competitions where, all right, you guys hit this target, your first shot is
From there.
just offside the green or something. and
Yeah, or
gotta
you get an
play
extra
from the
200
tee, you get
yards
an
out,
extra
yeah.
shot. Like, things like that, just to keep it interesting, because the personalities are going to bring it to the table. That's a really intriguing thought
What?
of the whole, oh, they're like me.
I totally watch it like that. Like when I watch Brady play with those guys, like I'm all right. I know I'm not Phil. And by the way, Phil, this is the first time Phil's not involved with one of these, and I don't think that's coincidental.
Got to come back at some point, Phil.
But when I watch these guys play, I watch Manning and
Russell Westbrook shoots like me, but I don't like watching him play basketball all the time.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Like, it doesn't make me feel better.
and maybe that's just me. So when you watch these guys be human on a golf course, does it make you all right? Because if you watch golf, you watch basketball, and then you go out and play, You're like, damn, I can't do that. I must suck. I'm horrible. And then you watch world-class athletes play relatively like you. They've got that slice that you got, or they missed that easy putt like you did, or they chili dipped a chip like you did. You know, all right. For me, I kind of, like, I'm in, man.
Let's go.
You're not there? It's okay that you're not.
Like, I'm intrigued for other reasons.
All right.
But not because they play.
No, I'm intrigued for other reasons too. But that, to me, that's part of the draw watching these guys. I always try to put myself in this, like, what could I get out there? What if you were playing, you were teamed with Tiger and you were playing against Phil and him, right? And how would
Tiger Woods carry my sorry butt around the golf course?
Yeah, right? He could. He's pretty damn good, that guy. If you give him a golf cart.
What if? Talking
Like,
about what
I will
if.
drive the cart for you, sir.
Talking about what
Can I
if.
clean your club, Mr. Woods?
Yeah,
This is caddy.
Here, let me clean
Guys
your
have
golf
a beer
ball.
in your sit and carry your bag.
Can they? Will these guys drink beer on the golf course?
Oh,
Can
well,
they have a few?
Mahomes. So I've been reading a couple articles.
Yeah.
So I guess like Mahomes and Travis Kelce golf a lot.
Yeah.
And it entertains people on golf courses because they're throwing back beers and just driving it like crazy.
I mean, I don't know. Do most of us have a beer on the golf course?
Heck yeah, cold one.
Right? Most of us have.
I always say I'm not going to, and then by the third hole, I'm like, yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna open a cold one
I
here.
know you better than that.
Josh Allen's
What
like
if?
DeChambeau
What if?
trying to
But
out there and
supposedly-
bomb it.
You think? So you think? Who do you think the longest hitter of them all is?
Josh Allen.
Just because he's the biggest?
Yeah.
Biggest dude doesn't always hit the farthest.
Mahomes is supposedly like a golf nut though, and I didn't realize.
I love that.
He's a
Mahomes
golf
now is
nut.
probably gonna-
You think they're gonna kill him?
No, I think-
Brady's
I hope
game's
so.
pretty solid.
I like it.
Aaron's looked pretty decent when they played. Didn't Aaron and DeChambeau win the last one?
Yes.
I don't even
I
remember
lost
who
a
won.
bet to that.
Did you?
Yes.
I love these formats, and I like that they're mixing it up. And I know people, who cares? There's no pros. Then don't watch, all right?
I like how it's going to cross audiences, I feel like. I love that. It's going to bring a lot of people to watch golf.
Yeah, I think you break. First of all, people need to realize this. Yeah, I don't need to see them thumb wrestle, arm wrestle, run, jump. So many people play golf, watch golf, participate in this sport, and that inherently will bring them to it. Then you throw four of the biggest names in American sport into doing something that so many of us do, and you're going to televise it in a competition and hear them talk smack. It's an attraction.
Yeah.
And I think it's brilliant. Now, I think they're going to go back to a format after this where they include pro golfers, and maybe Phil makes his return to it once he gets back in the good graces of the world, right? But I think this is, I'm in, man. I'm watching. Are you guys watching? Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen on a golf course against A-Raj and Tommy. I mean, old guard, new guard, established dudes, new dudes, bunch of rings versus one ring. I mean,
I am really interested too to see where the conversation goes. Of course.
well, on the where the format goes.
Well, does anyone ask Tom about trying to become an owner of the Miami Dolphins?
Yeah, I check you. So you got Arians run out, huh?
What's
Now-
up with Bruce, Tom?
First you got Arians run out, and then you got Phil run off of this damn
Yeah.
thing. Who's next?
Where's coming after me, Tom?
All right, I mean, am I next? Who's next, Tommy? First you got Arians run upstairs. Phil's not here. Tiger's not here. I mean, it's your world. Yeah, it's kind of good. All right, we're going back to the phones when we come back. Because we're overdue for a break? All right, we'll take that. 505-246-0610. Thank you for remembering you listened to 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The Sports Animal.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence.
Did you watch that? I mean, I bet Jack could talk some junk now. And they play different tees.
Yes.
Yeah. 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, A. Marie, Adrian. Bill, good morning to you. How are you, Bill?
How are you guys doing today?
Excellent, thank you. How you living?
Oh, doing all right. I was listening to the what ifs earlier, and there was some really good what ifs, but I was thinking of other sports, baseball. What if the Red Sox that traded Babe Ruth to the Yankees? What if they didn't do that and set their curse in motion?
Good.
And the ultimate what if Earl Woods liked soccer instead of golf? We would not ever have seen Tiger Woods. So anyway,
So
but I thought that was funny. You were talking about Tiger, and I thought, what if he'd have told Earl, I don't really like golf, Dad. I like soccer. I like some other sports. So
yeah, I like playing piano, Dad. That's what I want to do.
There you go. Arranging flowers. Okay, y'all have a great day.
Thank
guys.
you, Bill. That's terrific. We were talking some baseball stuff. What if Ken Griffey Jr. stayed with the Mariners?
Oh.
What
Some of his
if
injuries.
Tony Gwynn played for a team like the Dodgers or the Cardinals or the Yankees?
Ooh.
Would we consider Tony Gwynn one of the best ever? Because I've told you this. Tony Gwynn is the best hitter I've ever watched on a day-to-day basis. He was, Wade Boggs was really good, but Tony Gwynn was so good. Tony Gwynn was the first guy, the first one, to use video, to study pitchers, to study his batting. But he played for a Padres organization. He got to the World Series in '84 when he was young. But he played for an organization that just was not good. What if Tony, because I consider him the best great baseball player to play for a perennial garbage franchise.
That is also the next step into championships. And I don't know where it changed or what moment just in the sports debate and conversation and all of us, not just talking heads but fans, like where we forget how good someone was just because they didn't win a championship.
Karl Malone, Patrick Ewing, Charles Barkley.
Well, what about
Yeah.
someone who's still playing, Chris Paul?
Yeah, because that's the next question. Like, Chris Paul is the greatest point guard of the last 20 years.
I mean,
this generation.
So he was drafted by the Pelicans, right? 2005.
Okay. They were the New Orleans Hornets at that time, right?
And Chris Paul is not in that conversation because what? He doesn't have a championship.
What if?
What if
David Stern didn't overturn that Chris Paul to the Lakers trade? Which is like the only time in the history of the NBA I think the commissioner's ever overturned. I don't think that's right, but I mean the most high-profile overturning of a trade in the history of the NBA, right? And I still don't understand why. But what if he didn't overturn that trade? I would have. I mean, but your point on that is 100% right. We so unfairly equate greatness with championships in team sports. I'm just telling you, Tony Gwynn was the best hitter I've ever seen. On not power hitter, all-around hitter I've ever seen. Pete Rose was pretty good too. But he played on a perennial bad franchise and never won a league. He went to San Diego State. He's from Long Beach. He said, I like it here, and this is where I am. So what if he played on championship teams? There's so many great. Look, Mike Trout is going to be that guy. Until he hadn't been to playoffs for crying out loud, and now everybody goes to the playoffs, right? I mean, we talk about Robert Horry, who won 7 rings. Robert Horry went close to the player that half these guys are. He was good. He contributed, but he wasn't that guy. You know, how good was Karl Malone? How good was Gary Payton? How good was Patrick Ewing? John Stockton? Dominique Wilkins? Charles Barkley?
I'm going to say Charles Barkley. Yeah.
Like everyone that Jordan beat in the 90s?
Yeah, that's right. 100% though.
I mean...
Jerry West has 1. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's totally fair. What if? All right, should I get you some of your emails? Let me go back to the beginning here. Worried about JJ, says Todd.
Ooh.
Jeff, the last couple of days he sounded down. I'd give him advice how to deal with midlife crisis, but I don't think Tilly would approve. In fact, they might get him in the doghouse, making the situation worse. Thank you, Todd. Todd's not going to give you advice. He's concerned about you, but he's not giving you advice. I don't know. Because your teams are losing.
One of my teams is losing.
Yeah, then I got another one. Ugly for JJ's Nuggets, and I got Richard sent me a link.
The spat between Will Barton and Boogie Cousins on the bench.
That might be it.
Well, guess what? It's Rocky and Avalanche season.
Let's go.
Avalanche is pretty nice. Pretty nice.
Beat by Capitals last night.
Yeah, that's all right.
I hear those Avalanche games are so much fun.
Hockey's good, dude.
Oh, I mean, I love going to hockey games, but I hear Avalanche fans are the best.
Yeah, they're decent.
Yeah.
Garcia says, shaking my head at A-Marie.
Why?
Jeff, did she say she was in Austin, home of the world's best barbecue, and she was looking for an airport meal?
Oh, I went to Terry. No. I went to barbecue.
Last time I was in the Texas Hill Country, I came home so stuffed. I didn't think about food for 2 days. I think I would have hurled at the thought of grubbing at the airport. It's from Garcia.
I went to Terry Black's. Great place, recommended by Joe Rogan, and a lot of other awesome people. And then there's Salt Lick in the Austin airport, but it was so flooded with people that we couldn't get in there.
Yeah, the lines at the Austin airport. We were there both on Friday? No, you were coming home on Sunday.
Yeah, no, we flew in Friday. We came home late Sunday night, but it was Easter and a lot of places were closed on Sunday. We're like, and I called the airport and they said everywhere was open, and we wanted to watch NBA, so we're like, we'll just go to the airport super early, get dinner, and then they all closed.
All right, so there you go, Garcia. Carl says, what was Tiger Woods thinking, Jeff? I'd rather see him play the John Deere Classic, where you know it's going to be 95 degrees. That suits his body a lot better at this point than playing in the British, where it's probably going to be cold, windy, and he's dressed like an Eskimo, just trying to stay loose. Carl, why do you think he's playing the Open Championship instead of the John Deere? Why do you think? Just ask.
Because dude wants to win majors, not the John Deere Classic.
He's won enough John Deere Classics over his time. He's only won 15 majors. Only won 15
This
majors.
man is the greatest golfer of all time because he won 17 John Deere Classics.
But it's going to be chilly, and he's going to have to wear extra underwear.
Sure, Nike
I
can
don't think
design
he.
some
I
heated
also.
pants for Tiger Woods.
I don't think he cares.
Click a little button, warm up
I
that
think he's
back.
just happy to be there.
The new Nike Air Heat.
What is Shaq pimping these days? Icy hot patches?
Yeah, icy hot.
Throw that on the back.
Put the icy hot on your back. You'll be able to play the Open Championship. Me and Kobe. Tell me how my ass tastes.
Pull that up.
Yeah, put this on. I put this on Tiger Woods. Gene says, big week for level baseball. Jeff, today's the rematch of the 28-2 loss to Texas Tech, this time at Dreamstyle Field. Then it's a trip to beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada to play the Rebs, who won the first 3 games 57-13. Oof. All right, that's probably true. All right, that's where I am for these right now. 505-246-07. I'm not reading the rest of them. What? I'm editor-in-chief on this one.
Nope, we're done.
What if the pit...
Here we go.
All right, what if they built the pit above ground, and it's called the warehouse? What if there was a rule in the NBA like the NFL with drafts? Kobe actually decided to play for Coach K at Duke. LeBron plays at Ohio State. What if? Okay. What if the place was called the warehouse? It'd be different than the pit. I'll give you that. What if Bob King had not got Larry Bird off that truck and onto campus at Indiana State? Who would Magic have played against? You know what? Okay, let me take that one a little further, though. This is pretty good. Magic was terrific in college at Michigan State. But the Magic Bird thing, the dynamic of the contrasting styles, the race dynamic, the East Coast, West Coast, in the NBA, what would Magic have been initially? I think he'd have gotten there. What would he have been initially without Larry Bird? And conversely, what would Larry have been without Magic?
Because the rivalry started in college.
Yes. Which is still the, if not one of, well, I know it's one of the, if not the highest rated NCAA final ever. Sports Illustrated, Indiana State, Michigan State, big school, little school, white dude, African-American dude, East Coast, West Coast in the NBA. I mean, the two of them owe each other a ton of gratitude for building each other's.
That's why they still do commercials together to this day.
That's right. This one says Rod Carew. Rod, you must be talking about best hitters ever. No, Rod was an unbelievable hitter too. I'll put Rod up there with Tony Gwynn. Rod Carew was an insanely good hitter. Yeah. Nothing got by those guys. It's my favorite one of all. You guys must be really bored when you're doing what ifs all morning.
What?
After you sent us a what if. It's my favorite one.
Yeah.
All I know is these kind of shows, it kind of rings everybody's bell.
I love it.
And I don't know, if you'd rather break down the Sixers and Raptors from last night, go ahead, man. You can get in on
Stemmed
that.
from our straight fire playoff takes.
No doubt.
What if James Harden wasn't traded to the 76ers?
What if Russell Westbrook could hit a three-pointer?
Oh!
Oh!
What if James
The
Harden
Lakers
couldn't
beat
grow
the
a beard?
I mean,
What if
we can go
What
relevant
if James
if you
Harden had a
like.
patchy beard and couldn't grow his beard? Would he be the same dude?
It's like the powers.
Just asking.
Shaved his beard, does he lose his power?
I think that's his power.
You want to? All right, here's the basketball take for you. I hope Jokic doesn't win the MVP. I think it'd be the worst thing for him to win the MVP right now because he's absolutely getting destroyed. There's no chance for the Nuggets in this series, and then he's not going to get the credit he deserves because people are hyper focused on this series when Golden State's the 3 seed, the Denver Nuggets are the 6 seed, and by the way, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson are still really good at basketball, and you're all acting like Jokic needs to beat them by himself. Get out of here.
That's a hot take. That's a great take.
Hot take.
No, I
Get
like
off my
that
lawn.
flaming,
Get off my rocks.
steamy take. You hope he doesn't win? He's going to
He doesn't win. I hope Embiid wins.
Who do you think will win?
I think
Giannis
Jokic
or
can win.
Embiid?
You do? Embiid was politicking hard.
Gosh, that was crazy.
Politicking hard. All right, we'll come back, wrap it up with you. If you got more. Look, I don't. What if me?
What if me? What if the jerks?
Hit me on the match. I'm watching. I don't even know what it is, but I'm in. 505-246-0610. Thanks for listening to the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543.
And AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Edward sent me something great. He said the greatest rap line ever. Kobe, tell me how it tastes. Kobe, Last week, Kobe couldn't win without me. Kobe, tell me how my taste.
DJ Shet.
All right. If you want to get in, you still can. 505-246-0610. What'd you make of Freddie Freeman's home run last night? Dodgers, Braves. It was one of the biggest. I was watched a couple shows, and you know everybody gives you bet of the day, and here's the best bet. Everybody unanimously would say take Freddie Freeman to hit a home run against the Braves in his first game yesterday against the Braves.
First plate appearance, too.
Second pitch. Gone. Kind of a cool moment, no?
It is a cool moment.
I mean, and like he said, man, we're all human. We all have emotions. He played for them for a long time. There was some junk being talked after he left about what kind of teammate he was there, which was, I'm not going to lie, that was relatively surprising when that
was
came
very
out, wasn't it?
surprising.
Was it Acuna?
Yes.
Who said it? That he wasn't really a good teammate? That
Well, that he was a little strict in the clubhouse.
Okay.
Which, there's still that element of, all right, youngin', you come into the clubhouse, this is Freddie Freeman's clubhouse. I don't think he was telling you not to be yourself. Because obviously your game translates your style. Sometimes there's some things in the clubhouse you gotta do differently.
Yeah, I whatever it is, that was a guy. It was his team. It was his franchise. It was Freddie's world for a long time, and they win, and you know, stuff comes out afterwards. But I thought that was a great moment last night. Gopher said, "Why would anyone travel on Easter Sunday, Jeff? Especially knowing the entire world is short-staffed right now. I wouldn't even go to Walmart." Sometimes necessity necessitates.
My cousin getting married was very important to me.
And then she had to get back to work, bro.
I'm not going to miss the...
Who misses the? I'm just saying. Sometimes.
Put it in a promo.
Sometimes
No.
sometimes I'm not here.
We all got like sometimes, but yeah. I mean, for the most part.
I will be at the draft next week.
You will be?
The NFL draft, yes.
So you won't be here?
Correct.
All right.
Heads up.
Just saying. All right, here's breaking news for you. Voluntary off-season program, the VOPs. I don't even know what that is. The breaking news coming out of Cleveland. Deshaun Watson's there, Baker Mayfield isn't. So this is going to be the big talking head story today. I mean, honestly, you've told the guy we don't want you. You're under contract, but we obviously don't want you here. Is it snowing in Cleveland today? Holy smokes. So Deshaun Watson reported for his first voluntary off-season workout program, but no Baker Mayfield. Why is that even news? I'm only telling you this because you're like, well, Jeff, you're saying it because it's like the headline that screams off of all your websites right now, and I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to be surprised by this. What else would it, the news would be if Baker is there, wouldn't it? Then it would be news. What are you making of Debo's? Go ahead.
Deshaun Watson is actually working out with the team.
Ooh, that's news.
That's noteworthy.
Yeah, that's news. What do you make of Debo Samuel, A.J. Brown, Terry McLaurin, all holding out, not going to these workouts? They all want to get paid. The receiver market is super, super thick. But these are two of the best. Three of the best. Debo's insanely undervalued, right? At what point are you obligated to pay? I mean, I know contractually you're not obligated until your contract's up. But I mean, if a guy outperforms his contract, who'd you tell me? Was it Maxey that you told me outperformed his contract by $30 million?
Oh, Jalen Brunson.
All right. So if a guy outperforms his contract like that for a season, I mean, pay the man, right? But at what point, take these receivers. When do you think a team should be paying Terry McLaurin or AJ? Like AJ Brown's become a stud.
This is around the time.
Okay.
It's easy if you're the team, like, let's let this play out. You're on a rookie deal, that's all cool. And you're part of the negotiation tactic is, all right, I feel I have a lot of power on my side because of performance, age, what I bring to the table. Let's see if we can lock this in. And then if you have a player of that caliber, and all of them are still mid-20s, if you at least lock them in 3 or 4 years, it's better for the team. You have an understanding of, all right, what this situation is going to look like. And we understand, man, this is a business, whether it comes to deleting teams off social media or not. How do you handle it? Not showing up to voluntary workouts?
Okay.
That's like the That's an easy thing to do. That's easy.
Debo Samuel, A.J. Brown, Terry McLaurin. They're all entering this year averaging an annual pay under $2 million. Okay, perspective. The market where look around and there's like number 3 receivers, and you would agree that all those are number 1 receivers. Where some receivers who are kind of third on their team are making $10+ million a year. So they're looking to get a head start on what they're going to get. To your point.
Well, when you have the Jaguars out there handing Christian Kirk that money, you're like, what are you guys doing?
Right.
Come on.
Like Christian Kirk's nice, but he's not these guys.
Receiver.
He's
and
not.
they gave him like $20 million a year. Like, what are you doing?
Yep. $18 million for Christian Kirk from the Jaguars. What do these guys get now?
Was there Urban Meyer behind that?
Christian
we blame that on Urban Meyer.
No, I as much as you want to, as much as that is Urban Meyer-esque, I don't believe he can get the hit for that. So, who's most likely to get paid? Probably Debo. There's not a lot of financial flexibility, I don't think, for the Niners. They're projected to have about $60 million next year in cap space, but they need him. They need him. I think the one that watches A.J. Brown and what happens there. Will they deal him? Will they? What are the Titans? Do they think they have one more run left in them? They were the number 1 seed in the AFC last year. The most disrespected number 1 seed I think I've ever seen, by the way. And then they lost the first round. Well, the second round, but their first game. They think they've got one more run in them, don't they?
Yeah.
Derrick Henry will be healthy. Their defense is
Even
decent.
though the best team in that division is Indianapolis Colts.
Is it?
Yes.
Why?
Well, you got Matt Ryan.
They didn't make the playoffs. How can you tell me they're the best team in that division? They didn't make the playoffs.
Because it's not about what you did last year. It's about what you're going
All right.
to be.
What makes them better? Matt Ryan.
You got Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
You got Stephon Gilmore, Kenny Moore, you got Darius Leonard, Forrest Buckner. Taylor can match Derrick Henry.
I don't know if
And they're going to draft a receiver.
I don't know if I think they're better.
Yeah,
I think they're good.
Tennessee Titans.
All right, good stuff today. What if the Tennessee Titans, or what if the Indianapolis Colts made the playoffs? Just asking.
Just asking.
Your household will be a lot happier. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On come your way at 4 o'clock, and then Isotopes Baseball. They are in Round Rock this week. Adrian, great work on the television side. Amory, thank you for handling all that. Thanks for eating at the airport.
You're welcome.
I don't know. Big day for you today?
Huge day.
All right, enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
Maybe you just really want it. Maybe you could really use it. So in
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and that will do it. 14 strikeouts on the day for Nico Barella, and the Sandia Matadors take both games today.
She'll crank it to center field once again. Oh, look at the wind just carry that one. And that's a home run for Madison Frisella. The Eagles take the lead on a solo shot to center field. Gets the high five from the coach.
Castaneda once again with the big lead, and now he takes off. Santiago with the throw. Got him.
Shows bunt, takes strike. Uh-oh, the tag's over at third, and he got him. Oh. Yana King laces it to left field. The attempt to score, I think she's got her. She certainly has.
Two-one now the count. There's a shot. Fire, fire, fire. Good night now. 3-1 bomb by Aiden Griego.